Shalom uvracha, Yerushalayim, Ir HaKodesh. We're privileged today to begin our study of the fourth book of Moses, the fourth of the Chumashim, Sefer Bamidbar, and the first section of the book of Bamidbar is Parashat Bamidbar. And with your permission, I would like to share a focus on one aspect of our Sidra. Ve'et kol ha'edah Ikilu Vayityaldu al mishpechotam leveit avotam. At the beginning of the parasha, we study how Moshe and Aharon assembled the entire community, and the people were registered by ancestry, according to their mishpachot, according to their families. They declared their pedigrees. They established their genealogy according to their particular family, according to their families, the mishpachotam. And I was intrigued by the reference, or the many references, in Parashat Bamidbar to the concept of family. I counted at least 38 references in our parasha, in Parashat Bamidbar, to the concept of family. Each of you is most welcome to study, to read, to analyze Parashat Bamidbar and study how many times the Torah repeats Mishpachat, 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 Mishpachot, Mishpachat HaLivni, Mishpachat HaShemi, Mishpachat HaAmrami, Mishpachat HaYitzari, Mishpachot HaGershoni, Mishpachot B'nei Kahat, the Mishpachotam Leveit Avotam, over and over and over again. It seems that if we really want to study the book of Bamidbar, if we really want to study how our nation was founded, how our nation successfully traveled through the desert, ultimately to the land of Israel, the foundation of our nation is connected to our deep family ties. Because if you study how important mishpacha, how important the mishpachot are, an analysis of Jewish tradition, one will conclude that that's why it's the essence of the beginning of Parashat Bamidbar and of Sefer Bamidbar. Study our holidays. In the great holiday celebrations, we often find the emphasis in the Torah itself on the concept of mishpacha, on the concept of the essential nature of family values. When the Jews were about to leave Egypt, for instance, they are instructed to prepare a very special offering, the Paschal offering, Korban Pesach. But how are they supposed to prepare it? The Torah teaches with their families, according to their mishpachot, according to their families. Maybe the only real way to leave Egypt, physically leaving Egypt, conceptually leaving Egypt, all of the Mitzrayim of life, all of the constrictions of life, maybe we have to get together with our mishpachot, and then we're about to leave. It says in the Torah, Mishchu ukchu lachem tzon lemishpachotechem, in accordance with your families. That's how Pesach should be observed. Read in section Parashat Bo. And until today, it's well known that Pesach is that great day of mishpacha. In every Jewish community throughout the world, the family unites on Pesach, because that's the essence of redemption, because that's the secret of the road to all forms of exodus, to all forms of Geulah, redemption. In the moving story of Purim, another one of the great redemptions of the Jewish people emerging from some type of Mitzrayim, from some type of Midbar. How do they get out of the story of Purim? In the moving story of Purim, we once again read of the emphasis of mishpacha, family. In the 9th chapter of the book of Esther, we are told of the proper levels of observance of the great holiday of Purim. How should we observe Purim? V'hayamim ha'ela nizkarim v'na'asim b'chol dar v'dar. These observances of Purim are recalled, are mentioned, and celebrated in every generation. Mishpacha u'mishpacha. The book of Esther emphasizes and makes sure that it's observed mishpacha u'mishpacha, family and family in each and every family. In the Talmud, we have a certain tradition about what we learn from the words mishpacha or mishpacha. But I believe on a simple leveling of the text, simple level of the reading of our text, it's to emphasize how important mishpacha is in the celebration of Purim. Until today, how many great family celebrations take place on Purim? It's right there in the text. Mishpacha or mishpacha. Remember in the book of Shmuel, Samuel 1, chapter 20, they speak of a great family happening on Rosh Chodesh. The beginning of the month was celebrated. Zevach mishpacha lanu. We have a special family offering because the essence of our nation, the beginning of every month, maybe when the family got together and they thanked God for another month of life, another month of blessing, they got together with their family. That's the secret of Parashat Bamidbar. That's the secret of Pesach. That's the secret of Purim. That's the secret of Rosh Chodesh. Zevach mishpacha. And maybe if we study the holiday of Chanukah, for instance, the rededication of the sanctuary, everyone knows that the Matityahu ben Yochanan Kohen Gadol, Chashmonai Uvanav. It was a family happening. The whole story of Yehuda Maccabee and all the Maccabim was a family emphasis, because that's the secret on the road to redemption. And I was thinking that perhaps if we analyze the word mishpacha in the book of Jeremiah, where Yirmiyahu, in chapter 3, verse 14, Yirmiyahu Gimel Yudalid, he speaks about coming back to Eretz Yisrael, also emphasizing mishpacha. V'lakachti etchem echad me'ir u'shnayim mi mishpacha. God says, I will be taking you back, one from a city and two from a family. Ve'heveti etchem Sion, I will bring you back, Baruch Hashem, to Eretz Yisrael, to Yerushalayim. Says the Gemara, what's the shnayim mi mishpacha? Our rabbis teach in Sanhedrin 111, shnayim mi mishpacha, mizakim kol mishpacha. Even two representatives of a family will bring great merit to the whole family. So it seems that the road back from the Midbar to Zion, as in the Jewish people were traveling through the desert, ultimately to come to Eretz Yisrael, it's with this great emphasis on mishpachat, mishpachat, mishpachot, mishpachat. Since family is such a great value, I was thinking, as I was preparing this talk, I was thinking about the people, unfortunately, who don't have a mishpacha. What are they supposed to do? And I even said to Annie before I said to my wife, maybe I shouldn't say this, because maybe there are people who don't have family, and maybe they'll feel broken. And so therefore I'd like to appeal to those people who know someone. If you know someone who doesn't yet have a mishpacha, maybe incorporate them into your mishpacha. Maybe if historically, maybe if genetically, they're not connected yet to a mishpacha, maybe we can open up our own mishpachot and extend it to these people, because mishpachat is such a basic element. I think Rav Hirsch teaches that even the word shifcha, someone who's working in someone's home as some kind of attendant, as some kind of worker, as some kind of maid, he says that the word shifcha, shin, pei, hete, is ultimately connected to the word mishpacha, mem, shin, pei, hete. What are you supposed to do if you have a shifcha? So maybe if someone is working with you, if someone is working for you, incorporate them into your mishpacha. Turn the shifcha into mishpacha. So if there is anyone that we know who unfortunately doesn't have a family, I hope it doesn't exist. I hope only academically. But if there really is such a person, so make them part of your mishpacha. Make them into part of your family. Because family is such a great source of joy. When we thank God for all the joys in life, we should thank God for the joy of family. And I'd like to share a Hasidic teaching on the book of Proverbs about mishpacha. The great teaching of Shlomo HaMelech, the great teaching of King Solomon in chapter 27, verse 10, Kav Zayin Yud of Mishlei of Proverbs. He says, Tov shachein karov me'ach rachok. A close neighbor, a close friend, a shachein karov, a close friend, is better than a distant brother, because a distant brother is distant, but a close friend, a close neighbor is ever so close. In one Hasidic source I once saw, a different reading, perhaps on Proverbs 27. It's great to have a close neighbor. It's great to have a close friend. but maybe it's not the level of family. And this is the way they read it. Tov shachen karov. Tov shachen karov. It's great to have a shachen that's karov. But me'ach. But if you want to compare it to a brother, rachok, it's very far away. Me'ach rachok. It's not yet the level of a brother. May each of us appreciate our brothers, our sisters, our families, our extended families, our newfound families. May we open up our families to include others. And may the blessing of Parashat Bamidbar, speaking and emphasizing how important Mishpacha is, bring us to the great tradition of HaKadosh Baruch Hu taking us through the Mishpacha. Ve'heveti etchem Tzion. May we experience that, this very study of Parashat Bamidbar. Thank you so much for listening. Shalom.
Amen.